Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with your Talkin Live Forecast update here on your April the 14th, 2026. Shaping up to be a great end to our Tuesday. A lot of sunshine out there for the afternoon hours, and that's going to continue for the rest of the week. And boy, those temperatures are awfully warm. It's not supposed to be this warm in April, folks. Definitely feeling more like a late June or maybe even July day out there as we go in here for the next several days. Now, before we give you the full update here, which it does include a cool down in our forecast, if you're new here to the Talkin Live Broadcast Channel Facebook page, please give us a follow. And if you happen to be watching over on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. And more importantly, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future weather updates. All right, let's go ahead and start off with a live look there in Chattanooga. Seeing a lot of sunshine, a few high clouds out there for this afternoon. Things warming up pretty nicely here all across East Tennessee and North Georgia, looking pretty good here for this afternoon, as well as up toward Lake Chattooga with a lot of sunshine, just a few high clouds, and some excellent boating weather overall. All right, local radar, it is remaining quiet. A nice clean sweep here across areas of East Tennessee, North Georgia. Very limited rain chances here really for the next week or so. Still not seeing a whole lot in the way of precipitation. That may change as we head toward the end of the month, but right now for the next 7 days, I'm not seeing a whole lot of activity coming our way. Look at our regional satellite picture here. Again, you see just a few of those high clouds here across East Tennessee. A lot of North Georgia looking very clear here for the moment. Some great looking weather overall. And temperatures are warming up nicely out there. As you can see, 79 degrees right there in Dalton. So we'll see temperatures topping out in the 80s this afternoon and even warmer as we head toward the weekend. And then we'll see that cool down with another cold front moving on into the area that'll at least back our temperatures off to more seasonable levels. Now let's go look at our model data here. We're looking at the NAM here as we look at that. We can switch over to that. There we go. And what you're going to notice here, there is a weak system we were kind of tracking that was coming in from the west here. You see it right back here. I just don't think we're going to get much out of this. There might be an isolated shower in this thing going into Thursday, maybe, but and that's across for Tennessee side. But for the most part, we stay dry here. And then as we take a look at our temperatures for tomorrow morning here, generally seeing upper 50s, low 60s like we've seen the last couple of mornings. No big changes there. And then our afternoon highs going into your Wednesday afternoon. Again, looking at a lot of 80s here across Georgia and East Tennessee. Very warm. Look at these 90s back over here into the Carolinas. It's very, very warm going into your Wednesday. Now, as far as the weekend's concerned, as we look forward here, we're going to be tracking a frontal system. This is the one coming in here. You see it back here on your late in the day on Saturday. This is the one that's coming in that's going to cool the temperatures down. You say, oh, look at that. We got some rain coming our way. Well, European says, I'm running into an area of high pressure, so you know what's going to happen. It just dies. Look at that thing. It just dies on the vine here. So, again, we'll keep a limited rain chance in for your Sunday. It's going to fall apart, and then we'll see cooler weather going into Monday and Tuesday next week as temperatures return to a little more seasonable levels here across our area. All right, so let's look at our forecast maps. Let's look at this. Watch that little timestamp there on top as I kind of go through the days of the week here as we're looking at, again, a quiet weather pattern. They're definitely not seeing a whole lot here. Going into your Wednesday, high pressure there, kind of anchored here across the south, not going anywhere. Keeping us on the warm side with those above normal temperatures. And as we go into Thursday, again, watching that frontal system to the north, that's going to fall apart. Not going to do anything with that one. And then here comes the main activity here coming into Saturday. There's the front on Saturday. There it is going through on Sunday. So it looks like early on Sunday morning, maybe a few showers here Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then turning cooler behind the system. And then there's the big old high coming into Monday. Like I said, we'll see a little more seasonable temperatures here going into Monday and Tuesday before we begin to warm back up again going into next week. And then maybe going into that following weekend, 24th, 25th time frame, maybe we get some rain chances back in here. All right, so here's our forecast. Wrapping this thing up here for your Wednesday. We're going 88, 60. Morning lows aren't that bad, but that 88, that's not supposed to be around for the middle of April. That's really gaudy weather there. Everybody generally in the 50s to right around 60 degrees for overnight lows here for tomorrow morning. So you can kind of see the yellow and greens kind of all mixed up in there. And then you see the daytime highs, everybody here well into the 80s here for your Wednesday afternoon. And again, we're going to have some 90-degree temperatures, I think, across some areas here going into this upcoming end of the week. Now, as far as your look at your regional temperatures here, everybody here generally in the 80s, upper 80s there in Nashville and Asheville, both in the 88 degrees, Atlanta 88, Columbus 88, Jackson 85. So everybody pretty warm here across the southeast. And as far as the next 7 days are concerned, yeah, Chattanooga, we're going to be hitting 90 probably on Friday and Saturday, setting new records there for the earliest 90-degree temperatures to be hitting. And then we cool things off. Check out what happens on Saturday or 90, 73 on Sunday. Again, that rain chance, by the way, will be early. We're talking it's probably Saturday night into Sunday morning, that 30% chance there. And like I said, if it falls apart, it may be even less than that. And then we're mid-70s, 40s here for Monday and Tuesday. That's not bad. That's getting closer to where we're supposed to be for this time of year. But definitely seeing a little bit of a roller coaster ride with those temperatures. And again, we're hoping, we are getting indications of a little bit of a pattern change, maybe better opportunities for rain coming in at the end of the month. But I still think drought is going to be the predominant story here going into the summer. So just plan accordingly. I know folks have been doing their planning and yard work and stuff like that. Make sure you get plants that are a little more robust that can handle, dry weather conditions. All right, again, appreciate you guys checking us out here on the Talkin Live broadcast channel. Please give us a follow on Facebook and over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future weather updates. All right, that's it for today. Y'all be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.